Right here I have this bread maker. Let me go ahead and open this up and show you everything it comes with. This is everything that came inside the box besides the user manual. We have the actual bread maker itself right here. We have the bread pan that's going to fit really nicely in here. We have this little stirring rod. We have this little hook that's gonna help to get this stirring rod out of the bread if it needs a little bit of extra help being removed. We have this little measuring spoon as well as a measuring cup. This also does come with a little oven mitt so you can safely remove this when it's hot. Let's take a look over here at the top of the actual bread machine. So right here we have a little viewing window, which is so nice so you can actually see the process and the progress of your bread being made without lifting up this lid. And the way that this actually fits in here is you're just going to fit it in just like that and then twist it until it is fully into place. This little stirring rod is just going to fit right down in here. Right over here we have this start, stop, and pause button. And then over here we have the menu. You can actually select one of the preset options on this menu. There are 19 different presets and it does say them right over here. We have soft bread, sweet bread, natural sourdough, French bread, whole wheat, quick bread, sugar-free, multigrain, milky loaf, cake, raw dough, leavened dough, jam, bake, yogurt, gluten-free, rice cake, stir fry, and ferment. This loaf button right here, you're going to select to pick between your different sizes of loaves. Generally, that's gonna be a 1 pound loaf versus a 1.5 pound. Some of these presets, of course, you're not going to be able to adjust the loaf size because it doesn't pertain to that actual one. For color over here, you can select light, medium, or dark. It does recommend that for your first loaf, you do just go ahead with medium and then you can just kind of play with it from there. Depending on what it is that you actually want to make, in the user manual, it does have all of the ingredients laid out depending on which one you select. So for starters, I'm just going to start out with this quick bread just because it seems fairly simple and I feel like it's good to just start with something simple first. So it shows over here all of the materials that you're going to need and then the actual amounts of those materials based on what size loaf you're going to be making. So in order to prep this for our first use, I'm gonna go ahead and wash these different pieces in here, and then let's go ahead and make some quick bread. So I've already followed the user manual and followed all the steps to wash everything up correctly and get this ready for my first use. Now we're ready to make some quick bread. I have my ingredients laid out over here. I'm gonna go ahead and just start adding the ingredients before I select the menu options. I do already have the bread pan in here as well as the little stirring knife, and butter is one of the first ingredients in this recipe. You can see I did set the butter down there first just because it does need to be melted and I already knew this was warm. So besides this butter, I'm gonna add some water, salt, sugar. I'm gonna kind of evenly mix up what's in here right now. Now I'm going to add the flour. And I'm just going to flatten this out. And then it does recommend to imprint a little line in the flour here. And that's where I'm going to add my yeast. Now that I've added all of my ingredients, there is a section in the user manual where it does show the program working timetable. And for right now, while I am a beginner at this, I am gonna go ahead and use that. So for the quick bread, I'm gonna go ahead and close this and select my menu option to the quick bread, which is number 6. I'm gonna go to the medium color and I'm going to go to the loaf size that's 1.5 pounds. Essentially, the cycle that this is gonna go through is it's going to stir, rest, stir again, and then for this one it's just going to ferment and bake. So the total time, it does tell you that in the user manual, but the total time for the one that I'm doing from start to finish is about 1 hour and 38 minutes. So now that we're ready to go, I'm just gonna press start and I'll check back in with you when it's all finished. All right, this just finished a little bit ago and I actually kept it on the keep warm setting. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. It smells so good. I literally was just working around the house getting some chores done, and in the meantime, this beautiful bread was being baked. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out so you can see what it looks like. Oh, it smells so good in there. Okay, that looks amazing. Usually you have to take the little spinning piece out, but that didn't stay in the bread, so that already came out. What a perfect little loaf of bread we have here, and that literally, I think that took a little over an hour and a half of me not doing anything. This looks so good. Okay, I feel like the only thing left to do is to go ahead and cut into this and taste it. Okay, this looks so good, and you can see how nice and soft the bread is on the inside. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, now I have a little bit of butter. I'm just gonna put a little bit on top here. Okay, you can see the inside is really nice and fluffy, and it has this perfect crust on the outside, not too hard. Okay, yum, that is so good. I love the fact that I was able to bake bread while just doing regular chores that I had to do anyways. Overall, I loved how easy this was to use. I cannot wait to use some of the different pre-settings on here.